everybody? Welcome back to Lazab Yankee Podcast. You're listening to the voices of Nick Giamonti and
Richie Pagnato. What's good, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of this Yankee Podcast. Every week on Wednesdays at 10:30. This week, it's obviously this Friday at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah, we had a push on Friday this week. We got a little bit hit with Tropical Storm Isaias, and Nick was losing power, and I didn't really want to risk leaving my house to see what was going on because it was
a lot of fallen
flood.
trees around here.
Yeah, it's bad. My backyard and my front yard are full of just broken branches.
Yeah, so hopefully everyone stayed safe out there because I know there's a lot of people out there who still don't have power or any internet connection right now.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Hopefully that gets up and running today or tomorrow for everyone. But stay safe out there and just be careful, you know?
Yeah.
But how was your day today?
That was all right. Nothing special.
Yeah?
You know, just waiting on Yankees. Game in 2.5 hours. It's one of those weird 6 o'clock games today.
Yeah, it is a little weird. It's either 1 or 7 most of the time.
Yeah, and then they played a doubleheader and started at 4 yesterday. And like
that surprised me too because I was at work all day. I'm like, when does the first game start? And then I looked at it. I'm like, 4 o'clock. I'm like, when's the second one start? It's 7. I'm like, that's like bang bang, like right up against each other.
Now with doubleheaders, they're just doing 7-inning games, and they say there's about 25 minutes in between games until game 2.
Anyway, yeah, I'm waiting for baseball tonight too. But I had a nice fat lunch today from Fat Boys.
You fat
Street corn, a great burrito. Ever in Merrick, New York, or Belmore, whichever it is, Fat Boys burrito.
Yeah, I had Chipotle too, so we're both a couple of fatties over here.
We're not fatties right here. We eat well before we film. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get into today's discussion. Rich, you want to start off with what's been going on?
Yeah, so we got a little bit of breaking news. It was announced today that teams have to start cutting down their rosters from 30 people down to 28. So the Yankees made 3 moves, optioning Miguel Andujar, Nick Nelson, and Thairo Estrada.
Oh, Thairo Estrada, yeah.
Send the 3 of them down, so that leaves them at 27 players. They're anticipating Aroldis Chapman coming back this week, so our bullpen's going to get back to full strength. I would have liked to have seen, maybe send down to somebody else and bring up Clint Frazier, but I'm a Frazier stan. That's how it's going to be.
I think a lot of people are on the Frazier train.
A lot of people hate him. A lot of people.
Well, it's split. It's a lot of people who think that he should be up in the majors, whether it's on the Yankees or a different team having a starting outfield position, or like you said, there's a lot of people too who just do not like him.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. He's a very, very good player, and I mean, Sessa was pitching to him down in the new option unit, whatever they're calling it.
The alternate site.
Alternate site, yeah. And he said that Frazier looked good, put on a lot of muscle, and he's looking good. I'm just hoping that it doesn't come back to be steroids one day, but. Yeah, so that's the new Yankee news today. Nothing too major, but the biggest news is Miguel Andujar is going down to the alternate site. I love him, and I really, really hope he figures out what's ever wrong. But he's batting an abysmal 1 for 14, 3 strikeouts, and that's it. He has 1 single.
Which sucks because we did see him within, the first, 11, 12 games we've seen so far that the Yankees actually played. He's been in left field. He's been at third base sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, he's only played a couple games, and it's never been consistent. And when you're not playing consistently, it's tough to get in a groove and find your footing, find your timing, get everything set up so straight and narrow and perfect. So for him now to get sent down, he will have more time, more at bats, playing daily, and it will help him. And it's just unfortunate. And it sucks because the roster expanded. I guess you could assume he wouldn't have made the 26-man team. There's 2 spots left that have to get cut. I have no idea who they're going to cut. I would be really, 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 really happy if they sent Hap and who else could they send down there? I just want them to get rid of Hap. They could send Hap down to the alternate site, and they might wind up send
Hap down and bring Clark Schmidt up.
That'd make. I mean, if then they have to send down 3 people. Who are we sending down? Hap and who else?
Hap, and Hap.
I guess Krisky.
I think Krisky already got sent down.
I don't think so.
You don't think?
No.
I thought
they just announced those 3. There wouldn't have been anyone else. Krisky, Hap, and
maybe David Hale.
He's been doing all right though. I don't know if I'd send Hale down.
It's tough. It's tough for the lineup you have right now.
They have such a deep team.
Who to send? Yeah, exactly. Who to send down?
But yeah, so like I said, like that's the big news for today. So Ford, and Duhar's down. We're hoping that we very soon get Clark Schmidt up and that we can send Hap down. But that's just us. And
I think it's a lot more than us. There's a lot of people right now on social media
pissed.
roasting Hap.
God awful. He's played 3 games. And hold on, let's pull up his stats, please. Oh, there goes my water bottle.
Yeah, he's played a couple games, and
Here we go.
if it wasn't for the bullpen and the Yankees offense saving his first game, he would have 2 losses on the season. The Yankees would have had 3 losses.
So he's pitched 2 games. He has an ERA of 10.29, 7 innings, 8 runs, 3 home runs, 8 walks, only 3 strikeouts. Flies per inning pitched 11.13. Is that what this is? Nope. Fielding independent.
What'd you say? Flies per pitch?
Flies per inning pitch. I'm like, how the hell is he pitching 11 fly balls? That doesn't make sense. Fielding. Okay, he's not a good fielder. Walks and hits per inning, 2.143. The only person higher than that is Paxton.
And he
who's another one who hasn't. His ERA is higher too. She's pitched less innings. Hits per 9.
He's having a tough start too, Paxton.
Home runs per 9. He gives 4 home runs per 9 innings pitched. Walks per 9 innings, 10. Strikeouts, 4. Strikeouts to walks, yes, strikeouts to walks. Well, it's a .38 ratio. That's god awful. Hap is trash. Listen, we can have the podcast.
I didn't even watch the full game, the second full game. I caught it a couple innings in, but when I saw the score and I saw that he let up a 3-run home run to Bryce Harper and
2.
He let up 2 3-run home runs.
It was a 2-run home run.
I don't get it. I think him, unless Paxton has a second great, he's played 2 games, has a third start that's better, then all right, I'll ease up on Paxton. But like our starting rotation between Hap and Paxton there is kind of suffering a little bit. I mean, we haven't seen Tanaka yet. Montgomery's pitching really well. He has an ERA of 1.5. Cole is just Garrett Cole. He's doing great right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not the Garrett Cole we're all used to, like the strikeout machine, but he's still pitching very, very well. Jonathan Loaizaga, he's not doing that bad. I mean, he's only in there for maybe a couple innings. He's not really.
Yeah, I mean, they played him 2. He started 2 games. He came in relief on another. He's got 8 in the third, 10 strikeouts. He hit 2 guys, 4 walks. Not ideal, only 8 innings, but he's doing okay. But listen, also you mentioned Paxton, and everyone keeps mentioning Paxton, how they can't stand him anymore, and it bothers me. I'm another guy who loves James Paxton. I love all the players everybody hates.
I just want to see James Paxton do well in his third start. I don't want to see him fall short again in another third start, because then there's definitely something wrong there.
Everyone has to remember, Paxton's coming back off of back surgery. Because the season got pushed as long as it did, he was supposed to be doing rehab right now. He was supposed to be in minor leagues, doing minor league training and getting his strength back, his velocity back. His velocity is down a lot right now. He's pitching his high fastballs on 91.6 or 7.
Yeah.
He is struggling to throw heat. He's gonna get there though. We saw last year he got hot and he was unhittable. He was a great pitcher for us. He was super helpful, and you just gotta give him some time. I think it was stupid to put him in the starting rotation. Maybe you could have put him in the bullpen and worked him in there. But with Tanaka hurt, Loaizaga and Montgomery just coming back, we don't know what we're gonna see from them. You had no chance. You had to start him. So it makes sense. I'd like to see them maybe push him in the bullpen for a little bit when Tanaka comes back. Maybe you call up Clark Schmidt. Maybe you get rid of Hap. I don't care if you have to eat money and sell him. Get him off the team. I was looking at his contract before all this started. So he signed a 2-year deal with a third-year option. So every year he's with the Yankees, he's making $17 million, which is absurd because he's not good. So it's a 2-year, 3-year option. So the third-year option works like this. Because of the shortened season, the numbers in the contracts had to get reworked and figured and fixed. So if he pitches 62 innings or he starts 10 games, we have him next year. We're on the hook for $17 million. He'll be 38. He'll be another year and another headache. So far he's pitched 2 games in 7 innings. So he's a fifth of the way there for the game started, and what's 7 out of 62? There's almost about a ninth of the way there for innings pitched. So It's not ideal. The hope is once they start making these roster cut downs, once we get down to 26, I'm hoping he's not on the team. But at the same time, you're not going to pay guys $17 million to go sit at the alternate site. So I don't know what they're going to do. It's not going to be fun. Like I see games he starts, I want to turn the game off.
Yeah, it's bad.
You just know it's going to be awful. He gave up 6 walks yesterday. He could not find the strike zone. Now, I will give him a little bit of a benefit. He had to deal with Angel Hernandez, who is garbage.
I don't know how Angel Hernandez still... I thought he retired, but
I thought the MLB would have said, "Okay, you're bad. Get out of the league. We'll give you money to not call games."
He is the worst umpire in all of baseball. I don't care what team it is. It could be the worst team that I hate. It could be the Astros against the Red Sox, and I'll still agree that he's the worst umpire there is.
Listen, I saw ESPN. They posted a the strikeout charts, the rectangles, so you could see where the pitches are thrown and what happened. So, in the bottom of the 7th yesterday, this is game 1. Yankees, they're down 11-4.
Yes, before Judge's home run.
Because Haps sucks, and it didn't help that they put in Nick Nelson.
Nick Nelson didn't help either because he got up 6 runs, which I don't understand how they let him stay in after 2 or 3.
It was stupid. So, Judge comes up to the plate. He's got DJ on, and I think Gardner, and boom, 3-run home run. We're back in the game. Now we're getting hot. So, Hicks gets up and he walks. Then I think it was Wade that was up.
There were 2 people on base at the time when I think Mike Ford.
Yeah. So I think Wade probably got a single or walked 2, and then Ford was up, and Ford gets up. He's working the count. He's getting in his groove. Boom! He hits a bomb, long, just foul. And everyone's like, all right. Oh no, wait! I forgot this too. Torres, he was up. And it was a clear ball. It was a foot outside the zone. It was a foot down. It was so bad. Torres, it's clearly a ball, throws his bat and goes start to walk. And Hernandez goes, strike 2. And Torres stops. The Michael Kay in the broadcast, but they're like, okay, we guess that's a strike. Torres gets his bat, proceeds to strike out. It was stupid. But back to this point. So, Ford's up, and you can see with Hicks. So here's the rectangle box, and right in here, it's called a ball. So it's a strike, but Hernandez calls it a ball.
Yep.
Now Ford's up, 3-2 count. Here's the zone again, and here's the ball. It's outside the zone completely. It was super inside, and they call strike 3. Phil Nevin and Boone come out. Nevin loses his mind.
Nevin got ejected.
He got ejected. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There was 2 batters left. They came back for the next game. But this also isn't the first time that we've dealt with how awful Hernandez is. You look back 2 years ago, and Sanchez called him out. He said that he's the worst ump. Like, he was just a terrible game call. Like, nothing he said made any sense. It begs the question: does Angel Hernandez really watch the game? Does he know what the strike zone is? Does he know how to call pitches? He's bad. But that was the first half of the game. Yankees wound up losing 11-7. Then they came back for the night game, and they won 3-1?
Correct.
Yep, they won 3-1. So that's another win for us. So the Yankees are now
9-2.
9-2. So, Nick, let's just jump into it. Let's quickly talk about the last week.
Yeah,
week and a half.
I just want to mention the first 10 games of the season, or I guess 12, not of the season, the first 12 games the Yankees have played of the season, I should say.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees did have a couple of days where they were off due to coronavirus. So, first, whatever, out of 60. The Yankees are 9-2. They've been playing absolutely amazing. Before, I would say, the Cubs and the Twins hit 10 wins, the Yankees were leading MLB in best record. And they only had 1 loss at the time, and they lost yesterday due to Hap. I want to blame Hap on it.
Yeah.
Now they're 9-2 because they won last night's game. So they split the doubleheader, and today they're just scheduled to play the Phillies for the 4th game in the series. Hopefully the Yankees take the win and not take the L and split the series. I want to see the Yankees get 10 wins tonight, but in the first 10 games, I mean, we've just seen so much amazing things come out of this team. I know we just talked about a lot of negative things, but
yeah. No, there's a lot more.
Let's just start more with the pitching. Garrett Cole has been on fire. He has pitched 3 games already. He's 3-0. He's still hasn't lost a game since May of 2019, which is bizarre.
It's insane.
His ERA is a little bit higher than usual for him, but like I said, we haven't seen him get 100% comfortable yet. And once he does, I think his ERA is going to drop a lot. It's at 2.55 right now. So once he gets more strikeouts, it'll drop down too. Going to the bullpen is doing just unbelievable right now. Between Britton, Green, Ottavino, and Holder, and this guy that I believe they brought up or they picked up, Luis Avilan, they're doing absolutely. If you take Avilan out of there, between Green, Britton, Ottavino, and Holder, not one of them has given up a run. Yep. Not one. They all have a 0 ERA right now. And they've all been pitching about 5 games. Holder's pitched about 3. Ottavino has 2 wins. Chad Green has 1.
And now they just brought up Sessa. He's healthy again.
They brought up Sessa in, too.
Yeah, so it's looking good.
Unfortunately, lost Tommy Kahnle for the year. I don't know why it says on here he's on the 10-day DL. Makes no sense. He got Tommy John surgery yesterday, I believe.
Half, yeah.
He's not coming back till probably mid-next season.
Yeah, it sucks.
Which sucks because I love Tommy Kahnle. He's an amazing pitcher, and his changeups this year have been disgusting.
He came in that one game, struck out the whole side.
Exactly. So our pitching has been absolutely outstanding.
But yeah, Kahnle was fantastic. It sucks that he's now out for a year and a half. I don't know exactly how much time is left on his contract, but we may have seen the last of Kahnle with the Yankees. I'm sure they would try to re-sign him for really cheap. They don't mind taking risks on players coming back from Tommy John. I mean, just look at Clark Schmidt.
They took a risk on Didi. They took a risk on Schmidt. They took a risk on Montgomery and Duhar.
So there's something they're
Aaron
comfortable
Hicks.
With. Oh, God, yeah. But they're okay with it. They're comfortable with it. But I want to talk real quick about Garrett Cole. So I'm part of a few Yankee groups on Facebook and whatnot. And there's one guy who... Actually, I shouldn't say one guy. There's a few people who are like bashing Cole. And I'm like, what are you bashing him about? And he comes down to he's giving up another home run from Cole. He's given up, all right, I will say, he's given up 1 home run per game, the 3 games he started, which is not ideal. You're hoping he doesn't do that, but honestly, it's not that bad. When you look at J-Hap, he's given up 3, but he's also played 10 innings less. Cole's pitched almost 18 full innings. He's only given up 10 hits. He's struck out 16. His strikeouts will go up, and you have to remember, he had games that got cut short. He hasn't pitched a full 7 innings yet, and he's still working his strength up. These players, they didn't get a full spring training in. They didn't get full workouts in, so they're still getting there. But Cole's going to be everything the Yankees imagined and ever wanted. To get on his back immediately in his first 3 games is absurd. Okay, he's given up 5 runs. It's the 3rd most on the team behind Paxton and behind Happ. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. He's going to be fine. Everyone needs to chill, relax. And what they were getting on him for is his first pitch strikes. Oh, he doesn't. His first pitch strike, he's throwing balls. All right, chill. He's had really bad calls. And just watch his last game. He had an insane knuckle curve and nobody could hit it. And one of his home runs came on his 100th pitch, and it was a squeaker. It was barely fair. It was like, people need to relax.
Another thing about Cole, too, is he's loving the fact that he's on the Yankees now.
Oh, yeah.
He's made that very public.
So happy.
He says he has an amazing relationship with Gary Sanchez, and he actually praises Gary Sanchez, which no pitcher on the Yankees in the past couple years has ever done.
They all say that they have some issue with him.
He says he absolutely loves the fact that he's on the Yankees now, and he loves the fact that he's with this team.
He's going to be a real fun pitcher to watch for years to come for the Yankees. And, I like this young core that we have with Loaizaga and Montgomery. I mean, Tanaka's 31, and we still have Clark Schmidt coming up. We still got Debbie Garcia coming up. We still hope that Hap's gone. If Paxton honestly keeps pitching like he does, unfortunately, he'll probably be gone. And I know I've been fighting with Nick about if he stays or if he goes.
I just don't see if he has a bad season with the Yankees, it's unfortunate. But do you think the Yankees are gonna sign him another year or 2, or they're gonna re-sign Tanaka and they'll end up just moving on to Clark Schmidt or Debbie Garcia and giving them a chance?
Going into the season, I was super high on Paxton.
He could just be having a really shitty start, and come next start, he can pitch 7 innings and only let up 1 run and end up having a great game.
Yeah, his ERA will drop by 4. 4.5. He'll look good. It's a shame. Like I said, he's coming back off back surgery, and it all depends what the Yankees are willing to pay him. They gave up a lot of draft capital
to get him.
I mean, like I said, they gave up Justice Sheffield, who was their number one pitcher for years, and he was best friends with CeCe, and CeCe was showing him how to pitch and how to do this, and they became very close, and CeCe was his mentor. So you looked at it, it's like, ooh, Justice Sheffield, CeCe 2.0, this is going to be great. And he flamed out his first year with Seattle. I haven't really followed up on him to see what he's doing with Seattle right now.
I would look it up, I don't know what it is.
But it's what it is. It's going to be hard for them to just get rid of him and just say, okay, it's fine, like, we don't need you anymore. I doubt that they would do that. I could see them maybe giving him a 1 year prove it deal, 1 year $10 to $12 million deal, see what he can do, use him as a six man. But yeah, I think next year we're looking at a rotation with Cole, Loaizaga, Montgomery, Tanaka, Schmidt, and possibly Garcia.
He's not doing that good right now.
Sheffield?
He's 0-2 and he has a 9.39 ERA.
There you go. And I will say that's one thing that's really good about Cashman. Like, he trades all these high-end prospects that we have, and they all end up being terrible. So Yankees walk away and they look fantastic, and then they take your prospects. You take Gleyber Torres, you take Clint Frazier, and they turn out to be great. I don't care what you all say. Clint Frazier will be great.
He is great. We just don't give him a chance.
Yeah. But that's pitching so far. So they'll all get better, including Garrett Cole, who, how do you make the best pitcher in baseball better? Just wait and see. And then batting, you want to start hot or cold? What do you want to do?
Well, considering the first person on the lineup is Gary Sanchez, we might as well start off. Well, not in the lineup, yeah. on this team batting list. Let's talk about the cold. Gary Sanchez, Gleyber Torres, a little bit of Brett Gardner. He's starting to wake up. But between Torres and Sanchez, they are having a rough start to the season, especially Sanchez. He has a batting average of 0.74, and that is just not acceptable. I don't know if maybe he's hurting somewhere or he's just very cold right now, but he is at the top of the Yankees list with strikeouts. He has 16. He doesn't have any home runs. He has 1 RBI. He has 2 hits. He's doing really bad this season so far. Torres is doing a little bit better. He has 8 strikeouts, average of 147, has 1 home run, 2 RBIs. So it's really not that much better. Brett Gardner has been waking up a little bit. He is still low. He's 1.74, has 3 home runs, which is nice, 5 RBIs, and about 4 hits. So they're, out of everyone else on the team right now, they're kind of like the 3 weak links right now, especially Sanchez. It's just tough seeing him go up there and strike out every time. And it sucks because the way he's swinging is like the way he was swinging back in 2018, where everything in the dirt he would swing at.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to fall into that same, kind of mindset again, like, oh, like, everything's going to be low to me. No, they're just trying to pitch in the dirt because they know you're going to swing at it.
I mean, the problem right now is it's what he's swinging at. He's got 30 plate appearances. He's struck out 16 times. That's more than half. It's like Nick said. He's got a single, a double, a walk, and he's been hit by pitchers twice. His batting average is crap. His on-base percentage is 167. That's not good. He's slugging 111. It's just not good. He's having a terrible, terrible start to the year, but, this is what we're used to. It's just usually not the start of the year that he's like this. He goes through streaks. He's either going to be ice cold or red hot. And, as cold as he gets, it's going to be as hot as he gets. So I don't mind him starting out poorly. He will turn it around. And he's not somebody that you're going to send down. You're not going to start Kyle Higashioka over him. You're not going to bring back Chris Iannetta. You're just not going to do that. Iannetta. Sanchez is still one of the premier defensive catchers in the league. And I know everyone's going to fight me on that.
I did notice his arm got a lot stronger this year because his defense has been really well. Like I said, he's catching great games against Garrett Cole. They have a great relationship. He's doing great defensively behind the plate, and also he's been trying to pick off players who are leading off on second or first base, where he's shit whipping that ball straight down to the base, and it's going down there quickly.
And that was always his biggest strength. Besides his bat, it was his snap throws from first from home to second, home to first, home to third. Like the snap throws he would get off, and even players running against him, they'd get thrown out all the time. His rookie year, ESPN did this whole thing about it, like the sports science, and they were trying to grade him on what he's doing and the speeds and this and that, and it was off the charts. There was no pitcher who had a faster snap rate. Dude was whipping 90+ mile an hour balls to second, first, and third, and he looked great, and he's still doing that. And if you look at him throughout the years, and this was my biggest problem with Girardi, you had Sanchez, you were a catcher by trade. Take the time out of your busy schedule
trained him a little
and
bit better.
work with him. Make him your pet project. And Girardi never did that. And that caused a strain with their relationship. And it is what it is. Girardi's gone. I'm happy about it. But now you bring in Boone. He brings in his own coaching staff. And Boone was an analyst. He was with MLB Network for years. And ESPN for years. And they were able to say, okay, he has some flaws here. Let's figure out how we're going to fix that. And he brought in a whole new staff, whole new training staff, and the catching coach completely changing everything. I love what he's doing. Typically, okay, you got the pitcher's box. We're gonna put it here, the batter's box. Usually Sanchez, he would hold the glove here and he'd just move the last second. Now the box is still over here. He holds his glove at the ground and then he brings it up. That does two things. One, the ump is thinking, oh, you went to the ball, like it's more here, like you were down, now you went up, so it's a strike. So you're gonna get those like iffy calls. And it's making him a lot easier tracking the ball. Instead of like going from here, like, oh, I gotta go quick, he's like down here. So if it's down here and it's already a ball, he just flips his mitt. It's a lot easier for him to stop. If you look at what he's done the last 3 years, he ranked last and second to last in defensive efficiency. He jumped all the way up to 14th in the league last year for catchers. This year, I don't know where he's going to end up, but if he keeps doing what he's doing, I think he can make a top 10 jump. And everyone gets on his back about the pass balls and everything. But let's talk about Higashioka. We're talking about these three batters who are playing crap. Let's talk about Higashioka. He has 9 appearances. He's only played in 3 games, so the 3 games Sanchez has been given off. He has 2 hits. He's 2 for 9. He has no walks. He's not been hit by a pitch. His on-base percentage is the same. At least with Sanchez, it's about 100 points higher. It's not much. But Higashioka, the Yankees are getting no production out of their catchers. And that's one of their strengths, is you do not have a catcher in the league who will hit as well as Sanchez when it comes to power. You will get like the Buster Posies, the Joe Mauers, who are going to hit for a high average, are going to do very well. They're going to hit you 20 home runs, but you have Sanchez. He's the fastest player to 100 career home runs. He's got a rocket arm. His defense is improving by the year. Everyone's got to take it slow with him. Everyone's calling to trade him and cut him and get him off the team. You're not going to find a better catcher than Sanchez. Let him get hot. Let him get lukewarm. His lukewarm is a lot of players hot. So he's getting there. Who else is playing like crap? We talked about Andujar. He's off the team right now. They've sent out Thairo Estrada, which is unfortunate. He was playing okay.
He's a good backup, but
he's a very good backup. Yankees were saying years ago, when they first brought up Torres, that Cashman said it's like unfortunate, that we have Estrada. He's just blocked. He would be a starting second baseman on any other team in the league, but unfortunately he's blocked. And it's been a while, so I'd be very intrigued to see if the Yankees make a move. They trade him and Andujar and maybe Albert Abreu, and they go after another big name bat or a big name pitcher. They could use some more lefties. Yesterday they had their most lefty lineup. It was like, wow, there's 3 of them in there. This is great. It's a very right-hand dominant lineup. I wouldn't be surprised if at the trade deadline they go after a power-hitting lefty, just somebody to break up the lineup and, just hit a couple extra home runs. But that's everybody who's cold and playing like crap.
Let's get into the hot players right now. And big names, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Urshela's starting to heat up a little bit. But let's just focus more right now, before we talk to the rest of the lineup. Aaron Judge.
Whoa, if we're going to talk about hot, we got to slow it down. So about the kid who's hitting 415. And when I say kid, I mean an older adult. I think he's like the oldest on the team.
He's 31.
Yeah, he's the oldest batter in the lineup.
No, he's not. Brett Gardner is.
Where's Gardner? Oh,
Brett Gardner's 36.
But
let's talk about the machine, DJ LeMahieu. always an amazing person to have in the lineup. Always amazing on the field.
Yeah. He's a Gold Glover. He's the best second baseman in the league, whether you want to talk about defensively or offensively. He's had 41 at bats, 17 hits, 2 home runs, 1 walk. He's only struck out 4 times. That's a 10% chance of him
That
striking
is
out.
the lowest on the team.
Yeah. He is so good. Cash, he decided to go and get him last year. Everyone said, "What the hell are you doing?" And he's amazing. I love him. And Nick and I were just talking.
I love DJ LeMahieu.
He's in the last year of his contract. What do you give him?
Couple years.
Well, give me a number. Give me a number. How much? What are you going to sign him for? How many years? How much money?
I'll lock him up for about 3 years.
All right. How much you want to give him?
Do you know how much he's getting now per year?
Not a lot.
Like 20 something.
He's not making 20 something right now.
Maybe like. Well,
Or are you saying you want to give him 20?
No, I'm saying like what he make 2018, not 2018, 2019, about maybe 20, 30 something. I would give him about.
Well, he's not making between 20 and 30 million this year. He was one of the last free agents signed. Everybody wrote him off as like a nobody. He's making under 15 mil.
Okay, so I'll give him 20 mil for those years.
I think you're gonna have the image of like a 3 to 4 year contract between 20 and
Well, I wouldn't.
25 mil.
I wouldn't give him 4 because he's 31 right now. I would give him
32. This is.
Oh,
not
okay.
right,
Yeah.
He just
He's
turned
32.
32 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
I would give him a max 3-year deal, maybe with an option for a 4th.
Yeah.
Because, look, he could play the same. He could be the same DJ LeMahieu for the next 2 years, and then the 3rd year hits, and he could be dog shit. Or the 4th year hits, and that's where he finally falls off.
You're
You
not
know,
wrong.
players, they don't always be amazing their entire career. Not every player can be like that.
All right, so he signed a 2-year, $24 million deal with the Yankees. He's making
All right, so-
$12 million a year,
Well, I'm gonna bump mine up. I'm gonna say give him 30.
30 a year
Mhm.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, a $90 million contract.
Well, maybe. What if he wants to
You're
walk
giving a
somewhere else?
32-year-old a $90 million contract.
Maybe he wants to walk somewhere else.
Here's the thing. I think when you're gonna go and sign LeMahieu, that's what you have to think about. You have to realize, oh, okay, he's now the best second baseman in the league. He is going to hit for average. He's going to hit for power. I mean, you can argue his power numbers are skewed because he played his entire career in Colorado and he is loving the short porch at Yankee Stadium. So you can make that argument that his power numbers are very skewed, especially after last year's.
Choose the balls.
Thank you.
Well, that was the whole league, though.
It wasn't just him, but like, again, his numbers were inflated. So it's a matter of how is this season going to turn out. I think due to his defensive metrics and how just of a powerhouse and a consistent hitter he is offensively, you're talking about you got to give him a 3-year deal, and everyone's going to be coming after him that doesn't have a decent second baseman. Everyone's going to go after him. You're paying him about $25 million. I can't see a team giving him $90 million to a 32, 33, 34, 35-year-old, whatever he is. That I can't see a team doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees making a 4-year, $25 million a year deal where it's $100 million. I wouldn't be surprised just so they can keep him because he's going to want that extra year because no one, when they get 35, gets another big deal. So if he can get an extra $25 million, an extra whatever it is, I think that could happen. I think $30 million a year, though, that's a little pushing it. That's like you're getting into like some top players. And then you still got to pay. You got to pay Sanchez. You got to pay Torres. You got to pay Judge. You're still paying Stanton. You just paid Cole. You got to re-sign Tanaka. It's a lot of money that's going to be moving around this offseason.
Do you re-sign Gardner for one more year?
No, I didn't want to sign him this year.
Well, do you give him the Derek Jeter treatment where every year they just give him 1-year contracts?
No, because he's not Derek Jeter. He's
Well,
great.
yeah, I'm not comparing him to Derek Jeter. I'm just saying
I get what you're
contract-wise.
saying. I love Brett, but I think his time as Yankees over. I thought his time was over before last year. But I'm very happy they kept him around last year. I like that he's here this year, but I mean, up until yesterday, he was 3 for 3. 3 for whatever he was, and all 3 of his hits were home runs. He was another one that was playing like crap. I mean, everyone's getting on Sanchez back. They're getting on Torres. But we got to get on Gardner, too. He's 36. He's showing signs of not being the everyday starter that everybody was so used to him being. Yes, he's got power, but one of his home runs was a hit he's never done in his career. He hit an opposite field home run. Yes Network showed a spray chart of every home run he's hit, and there's one ball to left field, and that was on Monday. It's hard
Here's
to
my thing.
consider.
I love Brett Gardner. He is definitely one of the 10-year Yankees on a team. The only one really left. He's a leader. If this is his last year, if he announces at the end of the year he's retiring, from baseball, I'll be upset because I'll miss him. And like I said, I wanted the Yankees to re-sign him for this year, obviously before COVID-19 happened. And if he has a bad year where it's only 60 games, he does really badly this year, I wish that he would have retired at the end of last season,
of course,
where he had one of his best season careers on the Yankees, where he had 28 home runs. He was absolutely amazing. He never got hurt. He had great defense. I wish that he would have retired last year.
Yeah,
but,
everyone wants to see everybody
it's
go
still
on top.
beginning of this season. Who knows what's going to happen next week?
Yeah, I think he's going to wind up hitting 260. He'll hit another.
Let's see,
I'll give him another 10 home runs, 10 to 15 home runs. But I'd rather see Clint Frazier out there, and that's not just me being biased. I'd rather see Talkman out there. I'd rather see Talkman or Frazier. I think both of them provide a higher upside right now. Talkman, he's hitting the share on the ball. He's hitting 357. He hasn't hit a home run yet, but he's just getting on base, and you can't get mad about that. His on base is 438. That's great. I'd love to see Frazier, and like I said earlier in the show, he put on some muscle. Sessa said he's looking great on the alternate site. He looked really good during the extended spring training. He gave it his all every game, and everyone was getting on him for his defense, and he could do better defensively. And he went down to the minors last year. He's like, all right, this is what you need me to do. I want to do it. This year, it's like, okay, listen, we like you a lot. We just don't have room right now. Go still do this, do that. All right, I'm going to do it. He's doing it. He was the only player that was wearing a mask up at bat. He took the coronavirus seriously. He was like, listen, I'm giving myself a shot no matter what it takes. If you want to go up there without a mask on, go ahead. It's your preference, but I'm not risking myself to another injury or sickness to put me out long term. It sucks. Last year he was doing so well, and then he got that concussion. I was so upset when he got that concussion. Then he came back, he played 2 or 3 games, and got another concussion.
Yeah.
That was rough. I think he'll be very good. I'd rather see him in left field right now than Brett. I love Brett. He's getting a few walks, he's got 4 walks. He's seeing the ball well. His on base is almost 300, so he's getting on.
I just think the Yankees are also at like a boiling point right now, where they have such an amazing lineup and such an arsenal of amazing players.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was the past couple of years is whenever there's a trade deadline, everyone always says, who are the Yankees going to finally trade away? Who are they going to finally trade someone away? Or they're going to make a package deal with all these players and get someone big, and they never do. And I think this is going to be the year where it finally boils over, and it's like, all right, we have so many people's contracts up. We got to figure something out. We can't sign everyone. It's like, are they going to be at the point now where they say, sorry, Brett, we got to move on. We got to bring Clint Frazier up. We got to sign, obviously, Aaron Judge back. Stan's locked up for another, 1,000 years. We got to bring LeMahieu back.
He's not, though. That's another thing we can talk about real quick. This is Stanton's technical last year. He can opt out of his contract. Now, I think it's very unlikely he does, but if he can stay as hot as he started off the season, he's very much starting to cool down. He was batting an insane 5-something. He's down to 300, but his on base is still high. He's got 7 walks. That's fantastic.
He's still playing great small baseball. And I mean small baseball, he's hitting doubles, he's hitting singles, he's playing smart. He's not just focusing on hitting home runs and hitting just for power.
Yeah.
The other day he went 3 for 4, I believe, and he had 2 doubles and 1 single, something like that.
What I really like looking at Sanchez's stat line is he has almost as many walks as strikeouts. He has 7 walks and 8 strikeouts. Compare that to Judge, who has 2 walks and 13 strikeouts. Now, Judge has been up more. He's had 7 more at bats. So it's just 12 more at bats, and Judge has more hits. He's got 4 more hits, 5 more home runs, 11 more RBIs. But Stan has a higher on base percentage, and their average is about the same. This 10-point differential. Judge is at 310, Stan's at 300. I think if Stan can keep it up, I think there may be a chance he opts out. Now, it's a small chance. It's like a 5% chance he opts out because he's not going anywhere and signing another contract where he's going to be making $30+ million a year.
Unless it's the West Coast. Maybe someone on the West Coast would want him.
I don't think so, because the only other team I could have seen doing that would have maybe been the Dodgers, and now
They have Mookie Betts, so they're not going to.
and they came out after they got Betts, and they said, "Listen, we had all of our eggs, and we were either going to go get Anthony Rendon or we're going to go get Garrett Cole, and we didn't get either of them, so we traded for Mookie Betts, and we had that money earmarked to give away." Say, here we go. Here's all this money.
And they
Please
locked
play
him.
for us.
They locked Mookie. I think the Red Sox are pissed because they. You don't think they're upset that they lost Mookie Betts?
They were openly trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, but you didn't. No one knew if the Dodgers were going to give him a big contract or not at the end of this year. So,
Oh, please. Everybody knew they were going to do that.
They gave him an insane contract.
Everybody knew they were going to give Mookie a big contract. That's like why I keep bringing up
Which is
about
good
Paxton.
because he was on a shitty team. I'm sorry, but the Red Sox, they had a couple good years, but this year and last year, come on now. The Orioles are doing better than the Red Sox this year. The Orioles are in second place. Come on.
Because the Red Sox can't cheat anymore.
Exactly.
But no,
And neither can the Astros.
You knew Mookie was going to get a big contract. You're not trading away your top prospects and not re-signing this guy.
So now, do you think Stan just stays with the Yankees? Not
Who?
his whole
Stanton?
I'm not saying his whole career. The rest of the career. I'm just saying
I
a
think
couple more years.
it's a matter of, it's not a couple more years. He either opts out this year or he's with us for another like 7 years.
Oh, so you think it's he moves on or he stays in Yankee for the rest of his career?
Yankees have to decide, okay, he is, how old is he?
He's 30.
He's 30. Oh, yeah, it's right there. So he's 30. So I think his contract's for another 7 years. 6 or 7 years. Yankees have decided they still want to pay him $30 million a year. I think the Yankees very much hope that he opts out, because then they have all this money that they can give to Judge, they can give to Torres, they can
LeMahieu.
bring up, LeMahieu. They can bring up Clint Frazier. They can.
You could have up Clint Frazier and Mike Tauchman as permanent bench pieces, because if you
One of them's going to start.
yeah, because Stanton is technically still an outfielder. He can play
He's a
outfield,
DH.
but he's a DH. So
Then do you move?
who do you move to
Judge.
DH then?
Well, you gotta look at it. So this is next year. If we're doing for next year, Gardner's off the team, so now you put Frazier in left. Who is your DH? Not Talkman. I'm not putting Talkman at DH.
It could be Miguel Andujar.
I'm not putting Andujar at DH. He can't field, so maybe. He's got to show he can hit again.
Well, that's the thing. If they, in the off season, or when he's practicing the alternate side this season, if they prepare for it, they can say, look, just in case, if we want to make you a DH, we should really work on your hitting.
Yeah.
And then he obviously can still play left field. He can play third base, but he can still be your everyday DH.
Yeah, I would like to see Andujar, get back to hitting doubles. That's what he does best. Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I want to talk. We're talking about the future, and I want to finish up talking about Aaron Judge and how well he's been playing. He has 7 home runs. He has 17 RBIs, which is pretty amazing right now.
He leads the league with home runs and RBIs.
As of now, I believe he is still leading. He has a .310 batting average. His on-base percentage is .370. He is crushing these baseballs. Crushing them.
There's no batter hotter in baseball.
He's
right
still
now.
obviously, still playing great defense as always. And he actually threw against the Red Sox, he caught a fly ball in right field and then
doubled him up, right?
Doubled him up at first base.
I love watching that.
So, that's one of my favorite plays in baseball.
Same.
Is when someone hits a single to right field, the right fielder picks it up and guns him out at first base. That is my all-time favorite play in baseball.
I do it every time I play like MLB video games.
I love it.
Then it only worked once, and that was like against like
I got it, I think,
some
once.
big fat guy running the first.
But look, we're finally getting the Aaron Judge that we've all been waiting for to see in the past couple of years. He had a great year in 2017. 18 and 19, he battled a lot of injuries, and it was questionable how healthy he can stay. And so far, he came in this year
He came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, he went up to the plate like Miley Cyrus and beamed every baseball out of the park. But no, I'm so happy he's finally doing well. I'm finally happy Stan's doing well. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get on the Stan train this year, and then he's gonna opt out and go somewhere else, and I'll be so pissed. But
the best thing that could happen would be that it would fix a lot of lineup issues and salary issues. But Judge is on fire.
Also, Gio Urshela, I want to bring something up. This man right here said from the very beginning, Gio Urshela is going to suck this year. He's not going to do well.
Yeah.
I don't see him being in the lineup every day, and he's proved you wrong because he has 3 home runs. He has a 333 batting average, a 421 on base percentage, and he has 10 RBIs. So I want to tell you to suck it because I believed in Gio this whole time, and Gio is being the lucky fella that he's always been.
Listen, lucky fellow.
Yeah, didn't one of the announcers last year?
That's what Sterling says.
Yeah, Sterling says.
All right, let's look at his small career while we're here. All right.
His small career. He's only been in the majors a couple of years.
So, his rookie year, in 2015, he batted .225. Then he did worse. His 2 years later, so I'm assuming he was hurt, batted .224. Then he went to Toronto and he hit .233. He had a total of 8 home runs until he came to the Yankees. And then he explodes for 21 home runs. He hits .314, 355 on base percentage, which coincides with he just not walk a lot.
His RBIs were kind of low.
Yeah,
for
baseball. And now this year he's hitting .333 to start off the year. Shut up. He's not that good.
He's good. He's
having an okay start.
He's our best chance at a third baseman on the team right now. Besides LeMahieu.
He's better than Andujar, and I'll give him that. He's doing a lot better than Andujar to start the season, but Gio's bound for regression. Last year was a juiced ball. He's not hitting 21 home runs again ever in his career.
He could.
He can't. He's shown in his career
they're going to bring the juice ball back, and he's going to hit 41 home runs.
I'm leaving. How do I get out of here?
I'm just kidding. But
no, he's
21 home runs.
You have to look at his career. He's a career .270 hitter, on base .318. He has 100. That's on base. His 32 career home runs. 21 of them came last year. Last year was a flash in the pan. I think it was the most he's ever played. It's almost twice as much as his first year, 3 times as much as his second, and like 10 times as much as his third. He was a utility player. He wasn't an everyday player. If he continues to play like this, I will eat my words. And again, I will praise Brian Cashman for being the insightful genius mastermind he is, but I don't see it lasting. He's 28.
Yeah.
He's 28. I don't want to give him more of a... I'd rather, invest 3 more years in Andujar, figure him out, or get a solid everyday third baseman who will consistently hit. I just don't see Urshela keeping this up. I think he's got another guy who's on a hot streak right now. His OPS is 1.088. That's high. That's really, really high. He's not going to sustain that. His slugging, 667. No. On base, I just lost him. On base, 421. That's going to drop. And his average is going to drop. He's not going to hit 333. He's going to go down. He's not going to have a year like last year. He's not going to hit 300. It's going to be a down year.
All right, so we are running out of time, but I do want to just mention Luke Voigt. Luke Voigt had, it's kind of a little bit of a slow start. Not as slow as Sanchez or Torres, but in the first couple games he was a little slow, and he's actually been slowly getting back into a pace. He's got a 276 batting average, which is still a little bit low. 323 on base. Yeah, he does have 7 RBIs, and he does have 4 home runs right now, so he is seeing the ball a lot better.
Those numbers don't make sense. Because I'm sorry, I can't do math. I was going to say the home runs and RBIs don't add up.
Well, he could just got like a single or something.
No, I can't do math.
Oh, okay. So, but I love Luke Voigt, especially when he hits a home run. He has that little hop at home plate, and that's when it's officially out of the infield and outfield. But
he's doing okay. He's doing what he's gonna do. I mean, he's a career 275 hitter.
Yeah,
he's right there. His on base is...
He'll probably hover around a little under the 300.
He's hitting about what he'll hit.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, he'll hit... I mean, not this year, but he'll hit a solid 20 home runs. He's got 4 right now. Let's be real. 4 home runs, that's hot. That's the second most on the team.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's a lot of solo shots. I mean, he had the grand slam, which was fantastic. Loved it. But he doesn't get a lot of men on base usually. He's usually starting off an inning or coming up after a couple outs, so it sucks. His RBI numbers aren't going to be that good. He doesn't get a lot of walks. He strikes out a lot. He's 3rd most strikeouts on the team, right behind Judge. He's got 12. He's good. He's not hot. He's not cold. He's doing what he does, and I'm not mad about that.
No, and I think like we were saying, the first 10 to 12 games the Yankees have played, They just been playing amazing baseball. I mean, there are some little bit of holes in the lineup right now with some players. Hopefully tonight they take the series to get to 10 wins. But they're still one of the best teams in baseball right now. By far.
Yesterday's day game against Philly was an anomaly. I don't anticipate that happening again, so people need to chillax. It's not the end of the world. What was concerning about that game was not Hap. It was not that kid pitching who Nick Nelson. Wasn't him. That wasn't concerning. What was concerning was the awful fielding. It was so bad. LeMahieu going out to center field to catch a ball, missed it by a foot, throws it to second. There's nobody at second. They couldn't turn two. They had 3 or 4 ground balls that could have turned two, and I don't know if it's from the Philly hustle or what, but we couldn't turn a single one of them. They went to the booth to overturn one, got overturned. They couldn't turn two. It was bad, and that's what led to that big inning. That bad calls by Angel Hernandez and a throw to second base when nobody was there. They got to work on the fielding, and it sucks. There's really not that many off days to fix it, but at the same time, I'm not too concerned. I mean, DJ's a Gold Glove second baseman. Torres, he's a really solid shortstop. Gio's a good third baseman. Voit and Ford, they could be better first basemen, but they do what they got to do. So
Torres made a really good play yesterday at short.
He always makes good
This
plays.
one was going up the middle, and this man flat out dived, grabbed it, and just flicked it to, I believe it was either Wade or LeMahieu at second base. I don't remember who was playing. But it was in the second game. I'm like, that's a sick play.
Yeah, no. Torres is dirty. I love it.
All right, but yeah, that's our discussion for this week. Just update everybody on what's been going on in the Yankee universe and Yankee world. Lots of baseball to come up. I know the Yankees are coming back to the stadium very soon. They have a very, very long stretch at Yankee Stadium. A lot of home games, so that's going to be sick.
Love it.
I still think that the cardboard cutout fans in the stands are dumb as shit.
No, they're mad funny. They're so
Did you see the CGI fans at Yankee Stadium a week ago?
Oh,
Judge hit a blast. Judge hit a blast, and I saw MLB The Show players out there, and I thought it was the dumbest shit. Stop doing that. Just leave it empty.
That I think is stupid. That's what Fox is doing for all games. They're doing fake fans like that. I prefer the cardboard cutouts, but what I would really like to see is what the NBA is doing, where it's virtual fans. You pay and you virtually are in a seat and cheering for your team, and I'm like, that's cool.
Will they put an iPad out?
I don't know. I mean,
it's an iPhone.
I don't know how it works, but it's cool. But I will just say, this is actually really funny and why I'm a big fan of the cardboard cutouts. They are the ultimate prank, and if this ever happens again, I'm jumping on it. So my girlfriend's best friend's dad, there's a picture of him at Citi Field. Now, he is a diehard Yankee fan, and his friends thought it would be funny to take a shirtless picture of him in he's in his bathing suit, just got out of the pool, holding a beer, very confused and happy. And they now have that cardboard cutout at Citi Field in right field. I'm like, this is the greatest thing.
Oh, they did it?
Yeah, it's so
how much did they pay for it?
I think it was $87.50.
$87? That's not bad.
Yeah, no, and I think behind home plate it's $500. So I'm like,
that's Citi Field so far. What I've noticed is the only team who fills up a lot of the stadium, like the lower decks. Yeah. Yankees don't do it at all.
Yeah, that's stupid.
We're too classy for that shit.
No, please, you can do it. It's fun. It's an easy way to make a couple bucks.
Yeah, but they don't want to do that. But yeah, when I was if you look at Citi Field, look at a Citi Field game. They have the outfields filled, the third base, first base line. I'm like, there's a lot of people who are willing to pay this money for this.
Honestly, if I knew about it sooner, I might have put you at Citi Field.
We could still do it. I'm sure this game's still open.
Well, I'm also on unemployment, and they stopped paying the federal bonus, so I'm not putting you anywhere.
But yeah, that's funny enough. But anyway, yes, tune in next week to us every Wednesday, 10:30 a.m. on YouTube, Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, MySpace. We don't have MySpace. Follow us on majority of this century's social media
if
at
there's social
Baseball.
media, we're on it. Make sure you check us out. We're a lot of fun. We post whatever we can. Again, tell your friends, your goldfish, your dog, your cat, your aunt, your uncle, your third cousin twice removed, your inbred sister cousin. Tell them all to follow us. We're here for Yankees. We're here for baseball. We'll talk about whatever we can. It will keep you happy, and we'll keep ourselves happy.
You're listening to episode 10 of Lizap Yankee Podcast from Nick and Richie. Stop trying to hold my hand, you weirdo. We will see you guys next week.
All right, guys. See you later.
Peace.
This was